Invasion Formula 3 Series. It's Cowie, your average sim racer here, together with Adam Hughes on his first broadcast for SRW TV, and we've got Chef Toddy behind the scenes looking after the cameras tonight.
Oh, much love, guys.
Great to have you with us, buddy. Hope you're
Cheers,
looking
mate.
forward to this like I am.
Yeah, should be good, mate. Should be a pearler of a race. F3s at Road America, can't go wrong. It's a bit of a speedy track, horsepower dependent to a degree, as well as a bit of aero downforce, so that does help. But no, should be a good race tonight, mate. Looking forward to it.
Mate, it's going to be a great night. As usual, guys, we'd like to thank our major sponsor, DSL Welding Services. Great to have them on board for this series. We've also got the promo department that is sponsoring our safety car once again. Let's hope we don't get to see it, or maybe there are people out there hoping they do get to see it. And, of course, we've already also got Dragonrc on board, so we thank them for their support. Yes, Hughesy, Road America, these cars are fairly new to me, buddy. I haven't spent much time in them at all. What can you tell us about them?
Few things, mate. I know that the F3 cars when I was racing last season, they're a wicked fun car to drive. But one of the main issues with them is they tend to be very touch and go and very sort of hard to judge and get to grips with, only because the first 3-4 laps of tyres are still coming up to temp and they are just an absolute nightmare. Regardless of what wing setting, whether it be low downforce, high downforce, medium downforce, it's just still a nightmare in general. But after that 4-5 lap threshold, and they come up to a good temp, they are just awesome to drive. You can just really push. You can really test the limits, the boundaries, and they just sort of hang on. But yeah, no, look, I'll rate them. But look, I'd like to race these particular cars again, but I've sort of allocated my extra time back to the Porsches. So yeah, no, they're mega fun to do, mate. Mega fun.
I was wondering how long you'd get before you'd put a plug in about the Porsches, buddy. Last series champion for the Porsches, so you got your title to defend, but I hear there's a few decent names that are going to jump on and take you to it, or take the fight to you, I should say. But we're here for the F3s tonight. Looks like it was that Brad Wardby on top at the moment with a 2-minute .2 at the moment, a tenth ahead of Adam Simpson, and is that Nicola in third of less than was at 800ths back. So already the boys are pretty tight up there at the top, a tenth separating the top four.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good, mate. Looks like it's going to be a very close quality session, but the other thing you have to take into account too, I think it's going to be very NASCAR-esque in the way of everyone's going to be like, look what we're doing now. Look at the current screen with Michael Whiting. You know, there's 4, 5, maybe 6 cars, except for old mate that just decided to throw himself into the barrier. There's about 4 or 5 guys all within a second of each other, just trying to get that nice sweet draft, just to try and find those extra few tenths. So it's going to be down to whoever gets the last lap and last draft. As we see Nathan just lose it, and I don't know who that was, just went past him and locked on Lad's car, but they've done very well to avoid him.
I think what you've said there is sort of coming to the fore. So these boys are have gone out there and done 2 or 3 laps to try and get the tyres up to temp, and then they're throwing it around on their first flyer. And that was Samuel Thomas taking on the tyres there. I don't think that car's strong enough to drive through them. But so I think you're going to see maybe a few mistakes here in quali as the guys really push hard trying to find those last few tenths. I mean, we are looking at the top 8 are all within a second of each, or top 9 are all within a second of each other. And, we've still got 19 minutes of this qualifying session left, so I'm sure we're going to see the times tumble.
I reckon so, mate. I reckon so. Look, I'm keen to see what Brett Wardby's going to do. Like, he was pretty quick last season, as well as Robbie Griffiths, but I don't believe he's racing this season, I don't think. So I think Robbie will just slowly find his way back to the front of the field. I'm tipping he's going to be a championship favourite, but I'm more than happy to eat my own words on that and be wrong. But I know last season he was pretty quick, but it seems to be the top 3 are, it seems to be they are the pace setters for this round anyway.
It's gonna be great, buddy. Well, I mean, this is what round one's all about. It's all trying to find out these things. Who's gonna put himself on the map? Who's gonna maybe stand up and show that they might be a contender for the series? We do have it's a single race tonight, guys. I think again we're looking at probably a race of about 50 to 55 minutes. It is a fixed setup series, so everyone's on the same setup. There are fuel limit restrictions. I believe somewhere around that 50% again. I didn't actually see if they changed that. So the question that I asked last night will be the same. Is there a chance these guys will make it to the end on the one tank? I very much doubt it. So there's no compulsory pit stop for tyres. So, if they do need to come in, it'll probably likely be for fuel. Do you change the tyres at the same time in these guys, Adam? Or Husey?
No, they get changed after. No, they get changed after they get refueled. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you get filled up first, then you have the tyres get changed over regardless if it's 2, 3, or 4 tyres or one tyre.
How
But you tend to.
bad is the tyre deg with these things? Do you really start to notice it?
Nah, not really. They're pretty. The tyres are really, really good. Like they held on for a very long time. It's only when you start locking and pinching brakes and start wheel spinning and braking traction and really just put the tyre through like multiple heat cycles, that's what sort of makes them fade away a lot quicker. But if you can avoid blocking brakes and unnecessary wheel spinning at the rears, then usually they hold on for quite a while. You don't really have to pit. But if they do pit for tyres, which obviously they don't, but if they do, watch that particular person or persons doing the pit because it will catch them out big time. Because they go, yep, we've got plenty of grip, and then they'll realise, oh crap, I'm on cold tyres.
Cold tyres, you've got to spend another 3 or 4 laps to get them up to speed. But do you think you might see some guys that elect to just grab fuel and stay on the same tyres?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anyone's going to go for tyres. Like, if you don't have to go for tyres, what's the point? It's not like it's a supercar where, a new set of boots is end all be all. These things will just keep going, and the lighter the fuel load gets, the faster the tyre comes along and activates and becomes more evident that, hey, I can push and get more time out of this. But just depends, mate. F3 cars aren't made to go bumper to bumper and shoulder to shoulder. If they do that, one of them ends up in the air and the other one ends up in the fence with bits hanging off it, really. So the boys are going to be very careful with how they operate themselves tonight.
Well, we've already seen a few spins here in qualifying as the guys are pushing, trying to find every 10th that's out there. Now, you did mention before we're at Road America tonight, so we've got a 6.5 kilometre circuit. There's actually 14 turns, but there's 4 turns that they call it, 14A, 14B, 12A, 12B. So it has 18 corners. But I was doing a bit of research earlier today, and the other day, and this started out actually as an open road racing area. So, back in the sort of 60s, the guys used to flog around here in their own cars. And eventually, I think, the safety concerns got too much that they said we better build a track for them. So that's a pretty good history for a place. I know that it's an actual favourite spectator track for a lot of Americans. It's one of those places that's got several really good viewing areas. We can see a good chunk of the track. And, I also know that it's a bit of a fan favourite. I know it is on iRacing with a lot of drivers. Is this one of your favourite places, Husey?
Yeah, mate, I rate the track. It's good to have a fang on iRacing with Road America. It's just a good track regardless of what car you're in. If you could be a GT3, P2, like LMP, Dallara P2 that is, F3, it could be a supercar, could be a Porsche, could be Radical, could be anything. It's just a good fun track to get your hands around and get your feet around in. It's just good. It's just mega fun. They've got 2 different layouts of the track. So where we just saw Alex Court go through, you can actually duck off to the left. It's a very tight chicane that follows through just after the carousel. And obviously you've got this current layout we're doing now.
I don't think I've actually driven on the other layout, so that'd really trip me out if they made that change.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you come out of the carousel and you naturally you think, yep, just stay in this lane because I'm going hard right for the quick right-hander. But then you realise, oh, there's actually a chicane there. So you have to, as you've just like loaded the front left tyre, working its arse off, you have to quickly swing right to the right-hand side really hard just to pull the car up so you can get through the chicane. and then obviously go through the kink via the chicane. So it's probably adds another 6-7 seconds a lap onto the lap by the time you do the chicane and whatnot.
Well, look, I'm looking forward to it. I know that this is one of those places I love. I mean, there's got those fast-flowing corners. You've got several elevation changes, and those at least one of those elevation changes in the braking area. So, you know, coming around the back, what turn number is that? I'm trying to think. So it'd be... it's going through... Is it turn 6? After you sort of turn at the bottom of the first straight, when you come up over the hill into turn 6 here, the turn up ahead as we watch Alex Court here under the Corvette bridge, you're looking to try and brake there and keep the car sort of the weight on the front of the car so you can turn in there, or do these things just stick?
First 4 laps are very how you're going, but after the 5th or so lap, they just stick. And I probably should mention Alex Court's looking like he'll be a strong favourite for this season as well. Like, he's pretty quick as well. I know he's quick in the Porsche and quick in the supercar. I'm pretty sure it was last season's winner or championship winner for Radicals, I think.
He certainly was, and yeah, 4th place last night, was pushing pretty hard. It was good to see a couple of new faces on board that were able to take the fight to Alex. So, you know,
be good to see him get up there. And a bit shame there's not many numbers tonight or for the series this season, but it's a bit of a shame. But you know, watch Cordy, he'll be up there as well. I just realised that top 3 have actually the 1 minute 59s. I did not even realise that until just now.
I saw it earlier, but then I started talking about the track. But yeah, we will say to our viewers out there, if you are keen to get involved, we still have kept the V8 Radicals on a Tuesday night and the F3s on a Wednesday here. We've kept those series open for the first 2 or 3 rounds, just to see if we can get a few more drivers involved and join on board with us. So if you're interested, go to simracingworld.com.au and have a look at our series there, and you can sign up there. I think it's $10 for a 10-round series, so you're talking $1 a round. So I think that's pretty good value, and you get to race with a great bunch of guys. Now we sorry, I was going to just make a comment on the quality now, buddy. So yeah, we've got Darren Fahey currently sitting in the prime position with a 1 minute 59.604. Is that Brett Warby only 0.04 of a second behind him? Alex Court a further 10th and a half back there. So that's 3 of the boys in the 159s, and we'll see if anyone else can match their pace.
Well, you better ask yourself, Cowie, who's your pick of the night? Who's your favourite to win?
Well, I haven't done a lot of racing in these cars, so look, I've seen Alex Court has had a great run.
Someone that was a good moment. Absolutely died. Who was that?
That was Michael Whiting with Fishy Motorsports there. That the front of that car decided to disintegrate on him. Here we go. Thanks to DSL for our action replay here.
That rear's just stepped out massively. He saved it. What's happened?
That was Brett Warby there.
Sorry, my apologies.
So I think we might have missed what happened to Michael there. Probably Michael's look back at the stream later and he'll be thanking us that we didn't pick that up. So, but yeah, look, I've seen Alex race, and he's just a great racer. Up the front there with all of the boys, he's tended to show that he can make the car as wide as he needs to. So early on, he'd probably be not where I'd have my money, but again, he's probably not my favourite, but he's the one I probably know the most about at the moment. Michael Whiting is quick in the V8 supercars, so I have to see if he can bring that over to the F3s. I don't think I've seen a lot of Darren or Brett at the moment. And Cameron Edwards in 4th position there. I think that's another new face. 2 minute flat, 0.05 of a second off breaking that 2 minute barrier. But yeah, so look, probably Alex would be the one I'd be watching again tonight. But we'll see if there's anyone else out there that can, jump it on board. If you're watching, Dylan, thanks for your comment there. I believe you've got to refresh trading paints, buddy. Make sure you've got your right car up there. I think it's Control R. I think you can press in the sim.
Control R. Yeah, it is.
And that should reset everything for you, but it'll take a few moments to refresh.
Better give a shout out to the Sinkovich boys too, because I know they've been hanging it on me for me to give them a shout out, so I better do that to both Stephen and Dean.
Now the
know
boys
what
were
they're
racing
like.
together last night for a little bit there, and so I think Dean might have ended up with bragging rights last night in the Radicals, but I
Oh,
think
did he?
Stephen was looking better, and he pitted early and then had to pit again, I think, so didn't put enough fuel in the car, so it was a bit unfortunate. But you can see that what Dean is in 13th at the moment, Stephen in Sinkovich, so Dean with the bragging rights at the moment with about 7 minutes of qualifying to go. And we're just going to have a look at Dean bringing the car around after a spin, so he'll be happy with that nice little image. But that's what it's all about. I think, for some of the drivers, these cars will be a little bit new and different. I know for me, is I tend to focus on the supercar, so I get into something like this and I just want to send it. And as you said, if those tyres aren't up to temp, it doesn't really want to send.
Do you know what the fuel cap is for this race?
Have a bit of a look and see if they put it in the notes. Give me a moment. I'll see if I can find it. Why don't you, do you know much about some of the other names that you can see in here, buddy?
Besides obviously Sinkovich brothers, Greg Leake, obviously got J-Mac there as well. Greg Johnston. Who else we got? Whiting. I sort of tend to see him around different series. I think I've noticed him around the supercars a fair bit. He hangs around there. Coleman in 7th. I can't get their first names right at the moment because I'll have to try and remember them at some stage.
Well, I've seen David Coleman here, one of the Fishy Motorsports boys. He's was involved in the V8 and I think he had a bit of an up and down season, had some good results and had a couple of incidents as well. So it's a bit strange seeing a Fishy Motorsports car without the big silver fish on it, isn't it? Maybe they can't fit them on these cars. Yeah, I was just having a look up there to see if they had posted what the actual fuel cap is. I can't see it there in the Discord chat, but I'm sure the guys with the have got the setups on. So perhaps someone out there who's spotting for one of the drivers that's watching the stream, if you could let us know what the fuel cap is for this race, and maybe even if you want to let us know a rough idea of the fuel numbers, the burn per lap, and we can maybe work out for ourselves if these guys are going to make it to the end on one tank.
I think it's about 55% or 60%. I think I read somewhere. Just gonna try and find it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for the Radicals last night, so I wouldn't be surprised it'd be something similar. So, but yeah, I mean, look, I think, the point is, put the fuel, put that fuel stop in there, pit stop in there, just to create a little bit of strategy maybe. But as you said, if the tyres are a dicey situation going for fresh rubber and then having to get it up to temp, the only variation we're going to see in sort of the pit stops is going to be that fuel strategy, how much they put in at the start, whether they've got for a short fill or a long fill.
Well, I was about to say that they could go the other way and underfuel the car and make themselves lighter, but the trade-off is that they have to obviously come in X amount of laps earlier, and Stephen is out in the weeds, and someone's had a massive moment behind him.
The boys are pushing hard out there at the moment. So we got any other drivers into the 1 minute 59s? Look, so that's Cameron Edwards has gone under the 2 minute barrier as well. Michael Whiting just on the cusp of an 800th of a second off that. If you look at that, buddy, we go down to 11th position, and everyone 11th and up is under the 201s. So we're talking maybe a second separating the top 11 drivers. That's pretty crazy times, buddy.
That's actually pretty bloody good.
You remember what times you were doing around here, buddy, or you didn't get to race these cars at Road America?
No, I don't think we come near Road America, I don't think.
Season was the European invasion. This is the American invasion this year. So
I think we've done this round. Whatever round we did at, just say this week was say Watkins Glen for us. I think the next week was Road America, but because the F3s are running every second weekend or every second week, we skipped one round, and we happened to skip Road America. I think we ended up doing I think it was Zen.
I don't think we had any. I don't think we had any American tracks last season. It was our European invasion.
I thought we did. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because it was Zandvoort and Brands Hatch and those sort of places. I think Silverstone. So, you know, we're just trying to mix it up. And, you know, obviously, you know, I was actually talking with John McHenry and Stephen and Dean in the admin boys and talking about it. And what they wanted to try and do is try not to make it an expensive series where everyone's got to go in and buy, you know, a new track for every week. They wanted to try and mix it up. And so there's a few of the fan favourite tracks that pretty much everyone will have. There's a few legacy tracks as well, and then there's 2 or 3 newer tracks. So the idea being that, you know, it's not an expensive series to join in. I mean, you're paying $10 for the series to start off with. The last thing you want to do is have to then spend another $50 or $60 to buy the tracks.
Yeah, I think it's easier when everyone's back pocket, because you don't know what everyone's financial status is with work or with bills and everything. So it's just easier if you can do free tracks. I'm sure, like, you know, 2 or 3 tracks here and there that you have to purchase is not a real massive deal breaker for the bank. But, you know, when you have to buy 10 tracks or 8 tracks, you just sort of go, whoa, this is a bit of a stitch up. Like,
so I'm glad to see that, you know, the SRW team, our admin team, sort of had that in mind. So kudos to you, John. When you watch back at the stream, buddy, there's a nice plug. Well done. And you know, the other thing that we do have is that there is 2 drop rounds as well. So if you don't have the money to buy that track for that week, you can sort of miss it, and it's not going to, you know, cripple you in the championship. All right, so tonight's race is going to be a 200-kilometre race or thereabouts. So again, we said it's probably going to be around that, you know, 50 minutes or so, 50, 55 minutes. So there's going to be lots of action, and we've already seen a lot of guys pushing here and spinning the cars. So I think tonight might be the night that the Promo Safety car gets a bit of a look out on track, buddy. I think.
yeah, I'm keen to see if it'll get bought out tonight. I reckon it will, just with the first 3 or 4 corners and the way the track is, because that's essentially turn 1 I'm looking at now. And if you can have F3 cars roaring down it all at the same speed, it's going to be utter chaos. I'm tipping 1 or 2 cars are going to get sort of sent off and sent on a permanent holiday for the rest of the race. I'm tipping, because I reckon there'll be a few of them just going just with a bit of illness.
I'm not sure if they've got only just the 1 fast repair or maybe a couple. Thanks, Anthony, for your shout out there on the Facebook stream, buddy. Yeah, good luck to the Fishy boys. Yeah, can't see how many Fishy cars we've got in tonight. I know there's at least sort of 2 or 3 of the names there that I recognise. David and Michael. Like Dylan Thomas is another Fishy boy as well, so there's at least 3 out there. So yeah, I'm sure that they'll factor in amongst things. We are coming right. We've actually come to the end of qualifying at the moment, so just letting the last cars maybe finish their lap. David Coleman just a 10th shy of breaking that 2-minute barrier. But looks we've come to the end of qualifying, so as soon as
just waiting for results
Chef
to
Toddy
come up, boys.
can get the standings up, we'll read it all out. But it looks like it's Alex Court on pole position with a 1:59.23. So the After Dark Sim Racing machine, he's got that thing going, hasn't he?
Beautiful. When did he set that time? Just before the end, obviously.
I think that must have been the last lap there, buddy, or very near the end. It was his best lap and his last lap, yeah, so there you go. That's a cracker of a lap there from Alex. We've got Darren Fahey running in second position with a 1:59.4. I can't see what team Darren's. Well, it looks like Darren's a privateer at the moment, or he hasn't put his team details in. Again, we'll just remind the drivers there is links in the Discord to the SDK driver information app. If you'd like to fill that out for us, boys, and that way we can get your photo up on screen and your team name and all that sort of stuff. Okay.
And Brett Warby was
apologies,
in
everybody.
Place, wasn't
the
he?
results doesn't seem to come up, but let me work on it. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, looks like Chef is having a few issues with the standings coming up, so we'll continue to read it out. So yeah, as you were right, Brett Warby is in third position at the moment with a 1:59.64. David Coleman, one of the Fishy boys, in fourth with 1:59.91, 1/1000th of a second in front of Cameron Edwards with a 1:59.92. 922. Sorry, yeah, we're talking 13 thousandths. That's crazy. Michael Whiting in 5th position, another Fishy Motorsports. John Nicolip in 6th position. Adam Simpson in 7th. Nathan Burney in 8th. Nathan had an up and down race in the Radicals last night, so I'm sure he's looking for redemption tonight. Joe Daly, a new name. Thanks for joining us, Joe. He rounded out the top 10. We got Nathan Gore in 11th, John McHenry, one of our SRW admins, in 12th, Dylan Thomas in 13th, Dean Sinkovich 14th, Greg Leake in 15th, Team Greg. 16th is Stephen Sinkovich. We got Greg Johnson in 17th and Samuel Thomas in 18th out there. All right, so as the boys sort of start to grid up, here we go. We finally got the standings up for you guys so you can have a look at those times there. So, yeah, so is it Brett Warby's another Fishy Motorsports guy? There's, 3 Fishies up in the top 6 there.
Actually, a fair effort by them, actually. That's a real good effort.
Cameron Edwards has Send It Sin Sport. Adam Simpson, Frog Leap Juice Racing. John Nicolip, another Arc to Dark Sim Racing car. Send It Sim Sports for Joe Daly. Locked On Racing is Nathan Fernie. We've got John McHenry with Locked On as well. Nathan Gore is Send It Sim Sports. Okay, Michael Whiting has put a shout out for Blake to watch the stream. Come on, Blake, jump on board, buddy. Give us a sport, give us a like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, buddy. Get involved. But yeah, there we have it. So 18 cars on the grid tonight. It's going to be a great show, buddy. 200 Ks around Road America. You think these cars can take it?
Well, it's all standing start, can't we? So this will be very, very interesting indeed.
Oh, we've just got the cars coming up on the grid now, so we should be ready to go anytime now. So keep an eye out for the lights.
Well, that's a nice view.
I think so, buddy. It's good to see,
Slowly getting better.
paints and all that sort of stuff for the boys. Oh, Joe's getting ready. He's ramped and ready to go, buddy. Thanks for watching.
You should be maybe view or a bird's eye view? Do you reckon on the first, say, 5? That's all right.
Well, I was going to say, Joe Daly, you might want to focus on your racing, buddy. All right, the lights go. We got 5 red lights, and then we are away. And we are off and racing. Alex Corder's got a good start. Brett Warby in 3rd position, trying to go up the inside there, Darren. Looks like the guys have all got away clean, but there's a bit of jostling here. We're going into the first braking area. First braking area, mate. It's the first test.
let them all get through.
David Coleman's gone wide there. Can he keep it out of the tyres? No, he can't. He's bounced out onto the track. Oh, the boys are jigging around. Oh, no, that looks like there was a bit of contact maybe with... Is that Samuel Thomas in the back there that got into some contact?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there was a car in the pit lane wall on the start line. I'm pretty sure there's one just beached in the wall.
That's a bit crazy going on. Looks like the boys got tangled up at the back there. So, yeah, look, that was a... Yeah, look, that's just unfortunate for Samuel.
That should be a safety car. Could be wrong, but it should
well, the
be.
cars are stuck on track. We do have a no-tow rule, so it should be a safety car. We'll have to... So, guys are still going green at the moment.
We can go back to... When you guys are ready, we can go back to the start as well, if you like. There's a couple of...
at the moment, Race Control hasn't called the safety car out yet, but I don't know if any of those cars have gone back to pits or if they've stayed on track. So I'll have to keep an eye out there. But at the moment, Alex Court leading the way from Darren Fay and Cameron Edwards. So Cameron did get that job done on Brett Warby. Brett in 4th, Joe Daly in 5th. We've got John Nicolip in 6th. John McHenry up 5 positions into 7th position. So he took advantage of the chaos there on lap 1. Dean Sinkovich up 6 positions into the top 10 in 8th. So that's a great start as well.
That's a ripper of a start for him.
Our big losers, David Coleman, unfortunately. Looks like that car is out for the night. We've got a question on YouTube here for you, Adam. I'll have to have a look at that in a moment. We're just going to have a look at a replay of the start. So you can see the boys trying to go 4 wide, trying to find a way path. It was quite clean at the front there, but David just got caught on the outside. And, yeah, couldn't keep it out of the tyres there. And then coming back in onto the track, I'm sure that David was holding his brakes there. He just couldn't do anything about it. And just unfortunate for, was that Samuel Thomas there, that trying to avoid the madness there, and he got caught up in it, unfortunately.
I thought Dean was just going to get fed a wheel then by, who was it, Adam Simpson. I just saw him just get hung out to dry, but yeah, Adam gave him the room and they're all good to go, mate. They're going to keep on
Looks like
rails.
looks like those
Dean's
cars
going
have
for a
towed
move.
back, so...
I reckon Dean's going to go for a move here. He's got the draft happening, yeah, but he's going to pull out the draft and just go straight down the inside.
Easy peasy. So the draft seems to be fairly strong with these cars if you can get right up the back. Yep, looks like Dean's got that done, so that's a great move from Dean Sinkovich. But Dean is now up 5 positions into 9th. I think Dean was in 8th before there, so maybe something's happened with the timing. But inside the top 10, that's a great effort from 14th on the grid. Greg Leake is in the pit lane, so maybe something's happened to Greg there. He's picked up a bit of damage as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a nice little top hanging off him. Jesus.
Yeah. Big off track from Team Greg here, unfortunately. Or it's already dead by then, the back of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Dragging that tyre around.
Oh, that just gives me massive Lightning McQueen cars flashbacks then, just with the front of the car lifted up.
But that's unfortunate with David Coleman and Samuel Thomas. It looks like we might have lost those two guys for tonight. That tow, that's it's unfortunate. And
can we find out what happened to Leaky by any chance? Ah, right.
That was fair way back. Here we go. Let's see what happened to Leaky. He's just looped it round. It looks like he's backed it into the tyres.
Right, okay. Right.
Unfortunate. The Team Greg machine doesn't look so good, though. He's got that fast repair. It looks like he's back out and racing, but he's 25 seconds off the guys in front, and it's going to have the leaders breathing down his neck pretty soon.
Oh, yes. Oh, there they are. They're just coming into turn 1, or out of, rather.
All right, so we are on lap 3 now. Plenty of action so far, guys. So it's... as Hughesy said, these cars are a bit of a handful until they get up to temp, and unfortunately David Coleman couldn't keep it on track there, and that caused a little bit of a chain reaction for the guys at the back of the pack. But now if we focus on the action, we've got Darren Fahey making a move on Alex Gord. That's a great move up on the inside.
Nice, Darren.
Oh, Alex got on the gas really quickly there. Might have actually bumped into the back of Darren there. But again,
I hope Greg realises that they're right there behind him, because he'll probably need to move out of the way very, very shortly.
I'm sure he's going to get the blue flag. iRacing will let him know. Looks like Samuel Thomas has come back out on the track, so that's great to see, Sam. Hopefully there might be a safety car later in the race, and they can get you back onto the lead lap. Oh, Dylan Thomas has had another big moment. Might try and have a look at that, please, Mr. Chef.
There we go. Like, Greg's just paid them through, so that's good on him for doing that.
So Dylan Thomas here in 15th at the moment, and looks like he's just sent it in too hot. Yep,
absolutely.
Done well, held the brakes. Exactly what we want to see the guys do out there. You got to hold the brakes and look at your relative.
Oh, he nearly just cleaned the bloody tyre barrier too as he went forward.
Yeah. Don't think these things, slick tyres do well on the grass. Looks Alex has got back fast. Something's happened big with Darren Fahey there.
Save. That was a big save.
And then it was a little tap there with Cameron Edwards. A little tap into the back there. So something's happened that we missed. But it hasn't been too drastic. Darren is still on the back of this group. And I think, as you said, if the tow is that significant, hopefully we're going to see lots of these changes for the leads with these boys up front, especially if they stay this close together.
Oh, it's all fixed setup, you see, so it's a lot more even for them. Oh, be careful, boys, be careful.
Oh no.
Nah. I think Alex just come off second best there. I don't know what's happened, but I think they've just come together by the looks of it.
Yeah, look, iRacing was sort of showing the cars inside. That might have been a bit of a net code thing, because this car's gone well inside there. I think maybe they touched wheels, and that sort of unsettled it a bit for Alex there, and that's pretty unfortunate. Well, he's got back on the road, but he's lost about 10 or 11 positions there, so that's going to hurt.
I'm really sure Alex will be on the comms about that. I think not that it was anyone's fault, but I think it's just one of those things that just net code, and it's just literally out of your control. No one's fault. Just iRacing, just being iRacing, I guess.
Well, that's
The-
why we've got
the
24/7 race control, buddy. They're the ones that look after these incidents, so you and I can talk about them and not have to pass judgment. And you know, so we'll keep an ear out and see if race control's got anything to say about things. But that had promoted Brett Warby with the Fishy Motorsports machine up into 3rd position at the moment. So these boys, was that
Brett's not that far
John?
behind. He's within the draft range. He's not far at all. He's just in a very good spot at the moment. Though I'm sure Darren will probably fight with first. And I'm pretty sure Brett will just be sitting there going, "Yep, you know what? I'm just happy to hang here, save some fuel, just watch what happens, and go from there."
Well, let's hope we see plenty of action, buddy. You know, if that tow is as effective as we seem to think it is, it's going to keep bunching and the guys back up and hopefully creating this great opportunities for passing, which is what every race fan wants to see, mate.
Do you reckon we'll be able to get a replay just on the start line? Because, like I said, I did see a car beached into the straight as the lights went out. Is there any chance we could just get like a bird's eye view from the back half of the field?
Back half of the field. I think it was Samuel Thomas at the start of the race, and Dylan Thomas, Samuel Thomas, and Nathan Gore had a bit of a.
So Chef's just telling us that Dylan Thomas and Nathan Gore had a bit of a get together there at the start of the race. Looks like Samuel Thomas, something's happened to Samuel, is it? I've got a bit of a stuttery screen. Okay, here we go. We're looking at the start now.
So what's happened? Oh, it's before. Oh, wow, there you go. So it's someone else altogether.
Like he stalled it off the line maybe there or something.
Oh, okay. That'd be why then. Jeez, I didn't realize there was 2 of them. I thought it was just one of them. Right, so obviously just a bad start from one, and another one had a good start, and they just sort of went 2 into 1, which usually doesn't tend to work.
Oh, and a car beached right at the start. That doesn't help there, so that would have been pretty hurtful when you don't even get past the start-finish line and you get caught involved in things. All right, well, we're back up looking at our leaders here. Brett Warby trying to chase down Darren Fay here. These 3 boys have just built up a little bit of a break on Jean Nicoleff back in 4th position. The After Dark Sim Racing machine, actually the lead After Dark Sim Racing machine at the moment with what happened to Alex caught. But looking at the timing there, Alex has already made a couple of positions and is 1 step outside the top 10 at the moment.
Well, Alex is sitting in 11th. I'm guessing Alex has gone in for a fast repair, or did he not get any damage from that crash before?
I don't think there was any damage, buddy. I think he just spun and had to hold his brakes and had to, you know, get going on the grass. And I'm sure slicks and the grass don't work very well together. So I think he managed to keep the car from, you know, any major damage. And as it's going at the moment, he has got plenty of pace. I think if he had a pitted, mate, it would have put him a bit further back, you know, in risk of getting lapped.
Oh, yeah, because I'm just curious to see if you got any damage.
Here, so yeah, this is what happened between Alex and it was Darren at the time.
I reckon he's got away with damage. I reckon he's got away with no damage whatsoever. I reckon.
As I said, I think you know, as we said before, I think it might have been sort of the tyres have touched, and that's unsettled Alex. And then there's been that net code where his car's gone inside without actually, you know, doing any damage. You know. Because, I mean, you look at the contact, the way that contact is, you would have thought that, you know, if that happened for real, Darren would have been just in much trouble.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the tire would have been ripped off bloody Alex's car, but it looks straight as brand new. So maybe he's been lucky and not been hit with the unlucky stick too much, maybe, for the better word.
All right, well, he's got a bit of work. He's got about 4 seconds. Oh, sorry, about 8 seconds to catch up to Joseph Daly there. So Alex is going to be in some clear air for a little bit. Cameron Edwards, though, he's just stretching forward a little bit. The gap, 1.3 seconds back to Darren Fahey now. So that's probably far enough to get him outside of that draft, and he won't be towing Darren along. So, but again, we can see that it doesn't take much for, you know, only the tiniest of mistakes can catch out in these cars. And you know, you can see that, you know, Darren's just closed the 10th back in, Brett Warby right on the hunt there, so I'd say Brett might be looking to put some pressure on. We go back to Adam Simpson and Michael Whiting. Those boys look like they were working together, perhaps. So Michael's pushing hard down and might look at trying to make a move here on Adam. Both of them running the green machine.
Well, being teammates, they want to give each other a bit more room. So do these boys, as J-Mac and Nathan Verney. They'll probably want to, if they end up racing, not trying to take each other out, because you don't want to do that as teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John is up 5 positions at the moment. Adam Simpson up 4 positions as well, so he's in a great run up in 4th position. Dean Sinkovich up 6 positions. So we've had a few good recipients of the carnage that happened on lap 1. It's actually great to see that we've got all of our cars are actually out on track. So the guys that were involved, Greg, Nathan, David, and Samuel, are all out racing. So that's great to see, boys. We'll just have to keep an eye out and see if race control picks up something else and brings a safety car out for you boys. Now, there was a question in the chats that I was meaning to ask you a bit earlier, Hughesy. So, Barb Slider has got a question for you. Do you model yourself on Mark Scape or Neil Compton as your special comments man?
In answer to that, I'd probably go Neil Crompton, because I'm actually well liked.
Well, Scapey's got his lovers and his haters, I suppose. But yeah, Crompo tends to be the nice, easy-going guy, doesn't he? Everyone seems to love Crompo.
Everyone loves Neil Crompton. Everyone loves him. Just a good bloke.
Oh, he's the face of supercars, mate. And, again, I still remember watching him back when he was driving, buddy, so... And doing that driver commentary, talking on as he was doing laps, and this is not the earlier cars where you had, Perkins and Brocky talking as they were doing laps around. This was in the modern supercars, and Crompo was chatting to the team as he was driving. But, something I love doing in iRacing. I don't know if I'd do it for real if I was good enough.
Thanks for the message there, Barbs, you clown. Love what you do, mate. He's actually racing me tomorrow, actually, in the Porsches. He's signed up for the Porsche series for tomorrow.
So he's just trying to get enough ammunition he can throw over the radio at you tomorrow night, maybe.
There'll be a bit of friendly banter between he and I tomorrow night, I think.
That's awesome. Well, look, we're already almost 15 minutes into this race. Things have just sort of calmed down a little. And we can see, reading out the top 10, we've got Cameron Edwards running in first position at the moment. 1.2 seconds ahead of Darren Fay. So Darren's being able to keep that gap nice and close at the moment. Brett Warby in third position, about sort of 8 or 9 tenths back there. Adam Simpson in fourth position, the Frog List Dupes Racing Machine. And he's got Michael Whiting hot on his heel. These guys have been like this for a couple of laps too. So this is where we might sort of focus on that action when we go back. Looking at Nathan Verney in fifth position and John McHenry, both of the locked on lads boys, racing together there, probably trying to help each other out. So does look like Nathan might be leaving John in his dust a little there.
The Fishy Boys, are all the Fishy Boys in here top 5, or are they only 3rd and 4th at the moment, and 5th?
3rd, 4th, 5th is Brett, Adam, and Michael. I think isn't David Coleman's another fishy boy, and he's unfortunately back in 17th at the moment. So there's at least 4 fishy cars out there. Sorry, we missed that, Jimmy.
Oh no, Adam Simpson's in a different team. He's not with Fishy Motorsports.
That's right. You're right. Adam
what's the deal?
He's a Frog League Dupes racer.
Darren's just done the 3rd. What's he done there?
Darren, he's had an off track by the looks of this. We've also had Samuel Thomas
gone way too deep.
Yep. He's done well to keep control of that though. Just tried to maybe use a little bit too much track there.
Well, Brett just gave himself an instant promotion, so he'll be happy with that. But he's just got to try and hunt down first place now, which will be, sure, be bloody hard in its own right. But he's still within a decent tow range, so he's not too far away.
Looks like we might have also missed a crash with Greg Johnson. So if you get a chance, Chef, if you want to have a look and see if you can find something about what happened to Greg. So one of the Team Greg machines, okay, so he's just gone deep there at the back.
I think it was one of the Sinkovich boys, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
He almost did a very poor re-entry there, but he saw him in time, looked at his relative. What you got to do, boys? That's good to see. So almost got himself in a bit of trouble there, Greg, but managed to save it. So that's good to see. Yeah, we can see that, Pete. We just worked that out. Thanks for letting us know. Just on the Facebook chat, Peter Morris has said that Simpson changed to Frog Leap. From Frog Leap to Fishy, has he?
Oh, right.
Okay. Because I think
that makes sense. I see.
I think they haven't updated it yet. So that's what's throwing us. So
yeah, because there's no
did
fishy
he
on his
drop
rim.
information out? There you go. So that's what we say, boys. If you
advertised for drivers the other week. I saw these guys were advertising a few weeks and months ago, looking for drivers for GT3 and supercars. I think all over Facebook a few weeks ago.
Thanks for that, Peter. So Peter's saying it's Adam, Brett, Adam, Dave, Dylan, or all the Fishy boys. So 5 Fishy cars. We love having Fishy Motorsports on board with our series. They're a great team, great support. You know, I know the boys are probably streaming tonight and sharing it to all their followers as well. So shout out. Thanks for being with us, boys. We love having you on board.
Obviously, the Cowie, I'm probably going to have to side with Brett Wardby on this one. I'm hoping he wins, so I'm on the Brett Wardby fan train at the moment.
I kind of have to agree.
Oh, Chef has put his little 2 cents in there and agreeing with Brett. I think Cameron Edwards so far is doing pretty good up front there.
Absolutely.
Alex, my early favourite is had a bit of a run in there with Darren. So, but he's now made his way up into 10th position. So, just trying to at least mitigate and make sure he doesn't fall too much behind, round 1 in the season. But Alex has shown that he's got pace. He was up the front battling. I think, as we said, maybe just a bit of contact and a bit of net code that got involved there. So far, we haven't heard anything on the radio. Race control hasn't made any ruling from what we can tell. Cameron's out to 1.5 seconds. So this gap has been pretty stable for a few laps. Adam Simpson
he's done all right. He's held the all. Oh, jeez, I thought he had a bit of a moment then coming out of there, but he's kept it all right. It's all good. Just probably with the view of the front of the car, it just looked like he was losing the rear end, but I was deceiving me clearly.
This was one of those unrealistic cameras that you can't get in real life motor racing. I know Toddy loves pulling those ones out when he can, but again, it's still a cool look, and I think sometimes that's the camera that can make the car look a little bit blocky on its turns. So maybe that's where you thought it was stepping out a little bit.
But, yeah, it just looked really weird and sus coming out, but no, obviously not the case. So, but I reckon Darren's slowly catching up to Brett here, just ever so slightly.
Okay. So Pete's saying that Blake and Peter Morris are both going to be joining the series next week. They've just been work has sort of thrown them a bit of a curveball. Man, real life gets in the way of sim racing more than it should, at least as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, no, it'll be awesome to have you boys join us as well. We can get as many cars, many drivers out here driving these awesome machines and racing wheel to wheel.
Oh, more numbers are better, mate. Don't want to have a series that's just going to die because there's lack of numbers. The F3 cars are good fun to drive, but it'd be nice to have the numbers there just to support the category the series rather, and get up there. Well,
so Nathan Gore has just looped it around there.
That was Greg Leak, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is leaky. You're right. Yeah, it is leaky. So, in the war's a little bit leaky this race. So these cars are as you said, they are a handful, and I think one of the reasons I struggle in these sort of cars is that I tend to don't know where the edge of grip is. For me, it's a cliff. So I don't know I'm there until I put a foot over it, and I'm gone.
Been told we have to apparently turn up the game volume, or the sim volume, I should say. The cars in particular. I've just been told.
I think
already done. Sorted.
No, he's saying there'll be up. That's been fixed. Awesome. And Pete's saying there's going to be about 6 or 7 fishy cars next week, so that's awesome. Now, I was actually going to mention, have a look. Alex Court is up in 7th position now. The last couple of laps, Alex has been the only guy that has been getting under the 2 minutes. So he's done I think he did a 1:59.98 the lap before, and he's done a 1:59.96 this lap. So, he's really pushing hard to try and catch back up to these boys.
I'll be all about damage limitation from now, I guess. Like, he could probably get back into the top 5 with relative ease and maybe climb up to Adam Simpson, I reckon. Maybe up to Darren, but it would just be about damage limitation. I know it's only the start of the season, more or less, but you know, you don't want to be sort of starting the season on the back foot. That's probably the last thing you want to do, because it sort of sets the tone for the next few races. So you need to be on top of it pretty quickly. So I think he'll get it done with no drama whatsoever.
Well, I don't think pace is an issue for Alex. He's been fast in just about any car he gets in. So, you know, keep it going out there, buddy. You know, Robin's racing, I suppose. Well, yeah, it looks like he might be doing his pit stop. Or, well, again, as we called it, we're 22 minutes into the race already, buddy. So lap 12 out of 31. So it's a bit early for that halfway. But as you said, I think we might just keep an eye on this and see if he decides to take tyres. I wouldn't be surprised if, as you said, it'll just be fuel, because if it takes 3 or 4 laps for the tyres to get up to 10, the last thing you want to do is get some fresh rubber on that's going to be, you know, cold as ice.
Oh, that's the last thing you want to do, absolutely. So we'll just see if I don't think he'll do tyres, he'll probably just do fuel and then go again, but we'll just have a little watch though.
Yep,
nope,
I
just
think
fuel,
right. There it is.
Just fuel,
yep.
Just fuel.
Oh, and I think that's going to be the case for sort of most of the guys. I don't think you're going to see anyone taking tyres unless they've really chewed them up, as you said before, buddy.
I think the other thing we have to watch too is when everyone goes for their pit stops later on, a few people will be in the pits for another few seconds later, because they'll probably have the tank a little bit emptier, whereas Alex Court's only just done literally a splash and dash. So obviously he's still got heaps of fuel in the tank, so he'll just make his car a little bit heavier now. So I'm just keen to see how he goes for the next few laps. He's still in 7th, so that's not too bad. So
if he's doing 1 minute 59s on it with a heavier fuel load out there, he's
doing all right.
Pace, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
At the moment, out front, Cameron Edwards has extended his lead to 2.5 seconds now, probably thanks to Darren. It looks like Darren has got in front of Brett Warby, so did something happen to Brett there? Yeah, Brett's had a little off track as well. Can we have a look at that, Chef?
We've just all pitted together.
Yeah, so we were...
Oh, was the laps car got to do with that? Laps car, maybe? Oh, gee, no.
Just the car's jinked on him, I think, and he's had to go left to catch it. Maybe a bit of that snap oversteer.
Thought maybe the laps car would have got in the way, but no, it wasn't that. It was just all on his own merit.
Well, and that was Darren right behind him there. So looks like all of these boys coming in the pits now. So most of them electing to get the pit stop done, you know, before halfway and run it to the end.
Got a sneaking suspicion that it's a bit of a case of they've underfueled a little bit, and B, they're probably trying to cover off Alex Court. That's what it will be, I reckon. Bit of both.
And as you said before, if the tow is significant here, I don't know if it's quite as significant as it would be in IndyCar or NASCAR, where you know you need to pit with a group to stay in the tow, but that may well be a factor as well.
Yeah, it helps. Like, it helps to have your clean air. It's just mainly the 2 straights or 3 straights is where you want the tow. Then after that, you sort of want to check out and be on your own and have just nothing but a clean air through most of the corners, from basically where Nathan is now up until the back section of the track where it goes back into a straight, because you've got a lot of sort of corners that really depend on the brakes and the tyres, and then obviously the carousel with the downforce taking over. What's happening with Alex?
Alex's move on Adam Simpson here, I think.
Oh, geez, didn't take long for him to catch up. Oh, nice. Don't think Adam's going to fight that anytime soon.
At the moment, yeah. I don't know if something happened to Adam there as well.
I don't think he's going to fight it. No point fighting the inevitable.
He pitted, so Alex has done some great work there in his pit stop. Because Adam did had a 2:22 lap last time, so that would have been all in the pits.
I don't think Alex. I don't think Adam is going to fight that too much, because there's no point fighting something that you know is going to happen, because you're just going to lose more time. So he's probably thought, you know what, you have that, I'll just run my own race.
Like you said, you know, the tow was pretty significant, and I was actually going to ask you, you know, with the tow being significant down the straights, is it a big factor of that aero wash in the corners?
Carousel, yes. Where Dean is going through now is a big yes. That can sort of spit your car out where that DRS sign is, and you don't want to be doing a 4-wheel adventure in an F3 car across grass. But most of the other corners here are pretty friendly, but it's just mainly the carousel and that back kink is where you're going to have issues. with understeer or aero wash off.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Coleman, for the call out there, one of the fishy boys. Great to have you watching there, buddy. So, yeah, mate, give us all your comments, boys. We want to hear you guys. Who's your favourite out there tonight? Of course, you know, if you're enjoying the action, please don't forget to give us a like and a share and a subscribe. Tick that notification bell. Let all your mates know. Share it out on your own streams if you've got it as well. You know, the more people we can get involved, just the bigger and better that this series is going to get. Again, you know, I'll put our thanks out there to our major sponsor, DSL Welding Services. We've got the Promo Department on board as our safety car sponsor as well, and Dragonrc. Their support is great to have along. So, you know, if you got anyone else, any other businesses or people that are interested in getting on board our sponsorship, you can get in touch with us at simracingworld.com.au. Send an email to admin, and they'll you know, run you through all the sponsorship packages that they're working on. But the more drivers we get involved, the better, and the more of you guys out there watching involved, that's just going to mean more people are going to want to drive in our race, in our leagues.
Oh, what's Alex done here? Too deep. Yep,
Yeah,
too deep. Oh, Alex, what are you doing?
He's pushing hard,
Ooh.
mate. He's definitely not leaving anything on the table, so whether or not he's a bit dirty with what happened earlier and he's just, you know, head down pushing hard. But again, I mean, you know, I think some guys out there just, you know, they don't feel what the car's doing unless they're on the limit. You know?
Yeah, I get that. That's 100% the case. But I suppose in his defence, he's probably more happier for this to happen now and not in the last race where there's like 2 or 3 points, you know, deciding the championship. So I think he'd be more happier it's happening now, at the start of the season, not towards the end.
Well, I don't think that spin cost him too much, but it has given the spot back to Adam Simpson. So, but Alex again has shown he's got pace. At the moment, just looks like all of the guys have gone in and done their pit stop, so they should all be fueled and have enough to get home, unless anyone's gone to short field hoping there's a safety car. But so far, no visit from the Promo Department safety car. So, you know, it's all still green action out on track. Cameron Edwards still out in front. That gap has just come in by a tenth or two. So Darren is not letting him get out of his sights. I know that, he's just a little bit loose on exit there. That's going to cost him some time. There's probably half a second there. So you can see Darren has closed it inside 2 seconds now. So Darren that might just fire him up too. We can see that he was half a straight behind, and now it's less than that. So we all like to see the car in front getting bigger and bigger as we're catching up to him, don't we?
That's right. We do like to see that. Don't worry. That's a personal favourite of mine.
It's a bit unfortunate what happened to you out there, Dave. You know, it's awesome having your comment on YouTube, but we would have loved you to be at the front racing and not have any time to put a chat in for us. But mate, I suppose it's racing, and there's always next week. All right, so looking at the action, it's been pretty steady at the moment. Can you throw up the intervals for us, please, Chef? See if we can see if there's any other close battles happening out on track there. So it looks like the cars are all a little bit spread out at the moment. About the closest battle we've sort of got is maybe between Greg Johnson and Steven Sinkovich there at the back. He's only about 2 or 3 seconds back. And of course Cameron and Darren up front. But just having a look at Steven Sinkovich here in the SRW machine. Greg Johnson, one of the Team Greg cars. He's trying to close in. Now, that's a pretty cool looking livery.
It is, isn't it? It's a nice type of blue. I like it. It's like a real dark sort of, close to a metallic blue maybe. It just looks nice. I like it.
Yeah,
Really
good
digging
spec
it.
on that. I think, you know, one of the great things, you get that spec map looking great, and the sheen, you know, of the light on the car, and you can just see it there, and that's what looks great. I was complimenting the Fishy boys in the V8s last year about the way the silver fish seems to sparkle, you know, going around some corners. So I know there's a lot of professionals out there that do these paints and charge good money for them, and there's a lot of racer amateurs that, you know, will spend hours and hours perfecting their paint. I know my team boss Tyson, he does all our paints at the moment. We've also got you know, a company doing some paints for us as well that helped us with the spec map. So trying to think of the name of it, was it Knight Rider Designs? So you know, so it's great to have them. Probably shouldn't plug my own sponsors in a race that I'm not racing, but you know, I'm commentating, so I can do what I want, I suppose, can't I? Maybe. No. No, it's all good. All right, so yeah, having a look at Steven Sinkovich here. We might even say if we scroll through and have a look at each of the cars, Chef, starting with the guys up the back, and we can work our way through. So we've got Samuel Thomas. Unfortunately, Samuel had some dramas right from word go. I don't even know if he got across the start-finish line before it started, unfortunately. But still out there circulating, and I'm sure that Sam will see his day in the sun. Yeah, David Coleman looks like David's in the pits at the moment. That's why he's chatting to us on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it says +4 laps or something. So yeah, it's high chance he's probably not racing at the moment, I don't think.
Okay, is that Dylan Thomas we're on board now? So, and is that Michael Whiting coming up to lap Dylan at the moment? So that's red and white livery there. So looks like you got room for sponsors on board that. So, all right, here we got Team Greg, the other Team Greg machine out there. I know that that's my colour there, Greg. Purple's my colour, but I think I've seen you have it before, so I might let you keep it. All right. I just have a look at Dylan Thomas. Look at the front nose of that car. It's showing a bit of wear on it. So I think Nathan's had his fair share of dramas going on at the moment. Well, that Dylan, sorry. Oh, actually, that might just be the particles scratching the front of the car. So it, you know, maybe that's like the dirt on the windscreen, I suppose.
Well, it really could be actually.
Yeah, because I can see it on a few of the. Oh no! Is that Nathan?
Oh Jesus!
Nathan going around, and that's some pretty good evasive driving from Dylan there. Because he didn't have a lot of time to think about that. Maybe if you can go on board with Nathan, we can see how close it was. So going close with, on board with Dylan. Oh, that was scary. It was scary, wasn't it? Here we go. So yeah, see how much time Dylan had to react here. Oh, he said to turn out of it. Oh, good, quick thinking. That's some good driving there, Dylan. So yeah, there's something you'll be able to show your sponsors and your fans, buddy. So you do know how to drive, so that's great to see. All right, so we'll keep working our way through the field. Have a look at John Nickliffe. This is one of the After Dark sim racing machines. John was a bit higher earlier in the race, so he's 6th position. So I did see that John had a bit of a spin earlier on, but I think we missed it in the broadcast. John will be thanking us for that. But he's back in 13th position at the moment, 6 positions down from where he started. So a bit of work to do there for John. Oh, and here's one of the SRW machines, Steven Sinkovich, one of our owner admins. Stephen was having a belter before, up 5 or 6 positions. He's still up 4 positions, just outside the top 10 in 12th at the moment. And by the looks of that, he's got a couple of seconds. Greg Johnson's a couple of seconds ahead of him. You can just see Greg there. But
just a picture now on it, just gone past, yeah. I think.
J-Max just had
just catching a glimpse of him. So, and I think that makes you try a bit harder, doesn't it, Yuzi? When you can see the car in front.
J-Max had a bit of a moment as well, guys.
You tend to push harder.
Oh, looks like John McHenry's had a big moment. So we go thanks to DSL Welding Services for this action replay. What's happened to John? Looks like most of the incidents we've seen tonight, buddy, have been all self-inflicted, apart what happened to Alex. Oh, again, just...
Yep, too hot. Too hot.
He's done pretty well, though, to keep that from going into the wall. I think this is getting back to the dilemma I have with these sort of cars, Husey, is here's the grip. Oh, great. Okay, I can send it there. Oh, that was good. All right, let's go a little bit deeper. Yep, that's good. Go a little bit deeper and you're gone. So it's like trying to find that edge and it's a cliff. Once you find it, it's gone.
You find it real quick, and then you find it when you're looking the other way with cars coming towards you. Think, yep, no, that point I've definitely found the grip for that one. So you know that for next time not to do that again. So yeah, you should, most time F3s you can just continue to push and usually get away with it. But
And
yeah, you
what
get to a certain point and that's it. And sort of the car just says, "No, can't do that anymore. You need to tone it down a bit."
Just having a look at Dean Sinkovich, one of the other SRW machine out there. So Dean's having a great run. He is up 5 positions at the moment in ninth, so doing a great job. Got Pete Morris on the Facebook stream just asking if we're thinking 2 or 3 stops tonight. Well, I'm not sure. Is that fuel limit going to mean that these guys have to pit again? We're at lap 19 of 31. They pitted back on lap 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, these guys. So will they need another top up? I don't know. Is it worth going into the pits, short filling and going into the pits?
What
seem
lap
to
did you
lose.
say? And sorry, Cowie, they come in? The leaders in particular? What lap again?
Yeah, I think so. Cameron, Darren, and Brett all pitted on lap 13. Michael Whiting on 14, and I think there was a few of the boys that pitted a lap or two earlier of that as well. So
we go to lap 31, so we're already just past halfway for that. So I reckon it'll just be a one-stop race. I think. To answer the question, I think it'll just be a one-stop race. Really, that they might come close on fuel, but they should be right. If they're not right, they're gonna be in a world of hurt because by the time you do a trip down pit lane, do your stop, get a splash and dash of fuel and come out the other end, you've probably already lost like 30-40 seconds, which you don't really want to do, particularly when you're in the lead.
Well, that's right. So we're having a look at it before, and I think it was like 20. Was that okay? Yeah. So you're talking between 40, 45, 46 seconds, and 54. The guys are spent in the lane. So yeah. So that's the whole pit lane travel. So, the pit stops themselves range between sort of 5 and 10 seconds. Most of the guys are around about 6 or 7. Have we got another moment here, have we? Or we're just still... Dean! We were talking him up.
Just nicked the grass, I saw that. He'll be happy because he's beaten Stephen, so I'm sure he'll be... Sorry, I have to call him Stefan because he hates it when I call him Stefan, but... yeah, Dean will be rapt that he's beaten his brother. Dean being the better looking brother, of course. I'm sure Stephen's going to kill me for that.
So look, Pete, Husey seems to think that this will be the one stop, but there's still 11 laps to go. So maybe if you're still in the YouTube chat there, Dave, Dave Coleman, you got an idea of what the fuel burn around here was? And if you can let us know how much was the maximum fuel you could have at the car at the start, that'd be great too, so we can maybe, have a look at these questions. But at this point, we're probably just going to have to wait and see if anyone pits again. We didn't see anyone really take tyres, apart from the guys with damage. So it's not a tyre life race unless they really start to go off and we see the boys struggling. Perhaps, looking at the spins so far, I think it hasn't been anything like that. It's been, more a touch of grass, going too wide, carrying a little bit too much speed, braking a little bit too late. Seems to be those sort of little, those errors that have just, put them right on the edge of margins, and you're touching the wheel on the grass, and this car doesn't seem to like it.
What happened here is, have we had another spin?
Dylan, he's gone in hard there.
In the wall. That's
probably a good spot to go in though, because he can come straight back in. But
that's very convenient. How's he going on? He's just
maybe he doesn't have a fast repair. Maybe he's used up his fast repair.
Yeah.
But that car's going to be a handful with no front wing. And we're looking at go look at a Dylan. Yeah, Dylan here, no front wing, so I have to see how he goes with that. So, is that Joseph Daly up in front of him there? So, that's another sharp-looking car from Joseph. So, where's Joseph running? He's inside the top 10, running in 8th position at the moment. Joe, haven't really had much of a look at you, buddy, but it's good to see you got the car out there inside the top 10. And, yeah, nice and flashy there, sharp logos. And so, hopefully you get a chance to get up on the podium and spruik your sponsors somewhere in the season, buddy. But as we can see, the pace has been pretty frenetic from the guys up front. But even then, we've still got down to 6th, 7th, 8th position of guys that are all still doing times 2-minute flats. Brett Warby has got into the 59s. You know, even John Nicoliffe, who had his moment there back in 13th, he's doing a 2-minute flat as well at the moment. So, you know, there's not much separating the field going right down to the end. I mean, perhaps the guys that have suffered a bit of damage and are now driving damaged cars because they've used up their fast repair.
How does Alex Court going lap time wise? Must be down to 59s by now.
Yeah, his best lap was a 59.9. No, that was his best lap or his last lap. I think he's at the moment he's lapping in the 2 minutes. I think. But again, you know, I think it's these guys were getting in the 59s in quali, so the fuel loads are coming down. But I think that, you know, they might be starting to feel a bit of wear on the tyres. So yeah, so last lap for Alex Court was a 2-minute 06. So, you know, he's putting in some scorching laps here at the moment. And
okay, so this is John Wright. I thought Alex Court had taken over for 5th, but must have been for 6th pace looking. Oh, no, he's got 5th right in front of him with Nathan Verney, so he's not that far off at all. He's slowly wanking his way up to Nathan again. So he's doing that he was doing that previously until he had his spin, but look, he'll get back in the top 5 for sure. Maybe top 3, maybe.
He's pushing hard. He's only 1.1 seconds to Nathan Verney. So after that spin that he got past Adam Simpson and then spun and fell back behind Adam, he's now got back in front of Adam, and he's only about a second behind Nathan. So Alex is on the charge.
Yeah, I reckon he'll do it. He was looking like a favourite for the race, but yeah, just sadly had his little mishap or incident with
Darren. Yeah, look.
And yeah, it just sort of went backwards, sadly, which is a bit of a shame. But like, he's recovering really well, though. You've got to give him credit. He's recovering extremely well.
While he's getting some, one of the complaints that maybe happens with the guys that are really fast out here, is that, you know, if you're out in front, running away with the race, you know, even though you run in first position, you don't get that much airtime because you're not in any battles.
Yeah, can't run to that.
So Alex is right in the thick of the airtime at the moment because he's having to fight his way through the field.
Yeah, well, that's right. I can't relate to that feeling, so, you know.
We'll have to see what happens, Izzy.
I'll turn it up.
You ran away with the Porsche Series last season. I don't think you're going to have it as easy this time, buddy.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow night, mate. We'll find out.
So we've got another action replay here. This is Greg Johnson making a move on Steven Sigovich, is it? Oh,
yeah, it looks like it. Does he pull it off? Oh,
deep as he's held onto it. So that was brave into the braking area there, but ended up carrying a bit too much speed, couldn't pull the car up.
Yeah, he had to move down, but then sort of let it go again, and Steven sort of took it back off him. All that hard work, and now he's dropped it back behind him.
Yeah, I think Steven might have pushed him pretty deep into the braking zone there, broke as late as he could, and tried to outbrake him, and come off worse.
Would you like another look, boys? Or?
No, I think we're all good, Chef. We
Hey, I just see Greg.
He's had a spin in the back now. Oh no!
Yeah, I just saw Greg just go straight through. Can we just get a look at that top?
Yeah, might have to have a look at that one.
I reckon he went straight on. Has he just outbroke himself, or?
Yeah, pushing hard. He's just looked it again.
Yeah, he spun it. Yep. Ah, bugger.
That's the confidence trap. That's what I call the confidence trap, because he broke and he's turned it in, tried to flick it in, and this, you know, you get that feeling. You know, it's like when you drive that stupid W12 Mercedes W12. You know, you flick it in, it just sticks. You know, and I'm sure that's what Greg expected it to stick then, and it broke. And looks like he's had to let a couple of the leaders through as well. Brett Warby just coming through there. Just had Scott Bargen on the chat letting us know it's a 22.8 litre cap and 1.8 fuel burn per lap. So that means the guys are probably going to get 18 to 20 laps out, 18, 19 laps out of the, oh no, we're talking 10 is 18. Oh wow, so they may have to pit again. We're talking a burn of 1.8 per lap and a cap of 22.8. So use 31 times 1.8. That means you're probably going to need about 40 or 50 litres. So these guys might have to pit again. Wow.
Oh, we could be up for extreme splash and dashes then. Oh, okay. Jeez.
I can see a couple of cars have gone into the pits there. Who was that in the pits? Was that? Yeah, 2 pits.
Oh, who was that? Was that Michael Whiting? He's just gone straight into the pits as well. They must have done another pit stop. So Dean's in.
Yep.
He's got a few boys in. I'm pretty sure I saw Michael go straight in. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yep, I did.
There you go, and that's also.
Alex Corder's in the pits as well.
Yep. So it looks like the fuel burn is enough that you know, well, I suppose someone wants to do the math out there. 1.8 times 31. How much is that? Probably do it myself. I might find somewhere.
Yeah, you're the math man. I'm not the mathematician. No way.
1.8 times 31 is 55.8. So yeah, that's 44.6 if you completely run it dry and fill again. So 2 tanks is 45. So yeah, 2 pit stops. That's a great call from you early, Pete, there. We didn't even... We thought you were joshing us.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Dave, for giving us that as well. So, Scott and Dave, glad to have you boys watching the stream. And,
so, top haven't pitted yet then, obviously. So,
yeah, no.
John's still yet to pit in the P11. He's still yet to pit, but P6 down onwards have all pitted for the second time. But I reckon we'll see a top 3 come in now, I reckon, just after that little mishap, because I reckon Alex Court was in the pits a lap prior to the top 3 coming in, so I reckon we'll see those 3 guys come in literally lap 24.
Yeah, look,
this could get very interesting for Alex right here. He might be able to claw some spots back.
Well, yeah, it's very right, Toddy. Yeah, Chef Toddy, the man with the camera buttons. He's telling us that this might play into Alex's hands here. He might be able to take advantage of it. He has pitted for his second time, so he'd have enough on board to get him to the end. We've now seen that the leaders are coming in and pitting. I think Nathan Burney and Adam Simpson are the last 2 of the leaders to have not gone into the pits. Oh, Nathan Burney's just come into the pit lane as well. So Adam Simpson in as well. So, yep, so that's everyone as they're doing their second stop now. So it should
Do you reckon we could just watch Nathan Burney, because Alex is coming through the 3rd last corner now. Where's Brett Warby? So Brett's Nathan. So go back to... Can we just go back to Alex Court just for a hot minute? If we can. Oh, Alex is going to get him. Alex is going to pass him.
Like it might happen. He's got a tow from Greg Leake in front. From Greg Johnson in front too, down the straight. So that might have been handy.
Yep, he just passed him.
Oh, look at this. Is that Nathan Burney?
Yep.
Oh, is he going to hold it? Alex is going to sweep around the outside. So that's some great. Oh, so a little bit of strategy call there from Alex has brought him back up into the top 5 and, you know, minimising that, you know, damage to his championship run. Although, as you said, it's round 1 at the moment. But yes. No, thanks very much for picking that up for us, boys. We wouldn't have known. We would have been wondering why the cars were pitting for a second time and not taking tyres. So
I'd give Alex Court the driver of the day at the moment. I reckon that's what I'm reckoning.
Yeah, well, he's down 4 positions from his start, but it was no fault of his, I think. Just an unfortunate little jostle with the tyres there that caused his incident. And
just unlucky, you know. Just unlucky with Netco. That's all it was. Just simply unlucky. Nothing you could do about it, sadly.
Yep. Well, he was back in 13th position there at one stage. Now back up in the top 5. So that's effectively up 8 positions. The other guys that are up big positions is Dean Sinkovich, still running in 9th. He's up 5 positions. We've got Steven Sinkovich in 11th, up 5 positions. Greg Johnson up 4. But again, and is it Cameron Edwards up front? Our current front runner, he's up 4 positions, started 5th on the grid. So, you know, there's some great driving going on here. And I think these boys have already shown that these cars are a handful. It doesn't take much to get it wrong. And they don't like touching walls.
Yeah, they don't like touching each other's wheels either, or wheel arches. They tend to disagree with that. So,
yeah, well, we saw what happened between Sainz and Ricardo on Sunday night in the Grand Prix. And
yeah, that doesn't work, does it?
A little touch, yeah, that's it. We can see that Cameron's just extended his lead out to 3.1 seconds over Darren Fahey at the moment.
What was Michael's lap time then? Was that a 2 minute point? 2 minute flat 0.3? I'm pretty sure Alex just did a 1 minute 59.6. That's basically, I'll say, give or take 7 tenths quicker than Michael.
Yeah, he's chasing him down. There's 6 seconds separating. Yeah, 6 seconds separating Alex and Michael. So with 5 laps to go, or 6 laps to go, I should say, at 0.7, it's going to be close. Going to be close.
I reckon if they had the fastest lap of the race, gave you a few extra points, I reckon Alex would be pretty happy with that. I reckon, just quietly.
Well, it's been a great recovery drive so far. I know that Alex loves every opportunity to step up on the podium and spruik his sponsors, and so far he missed out last night in the radicals, and he's going to have to put off a Herculean effort to get up there now, or pretty much rely on Darren or Brett or Cameron up front there to have a big mistake. But so far those boys are just looking like they're driving solid and concentrating. Cameron's got his gap out to 3 seconds. Darren's a further 8 seconds in front of Brett. So, at this stage, the cars that are closest together, if we can have a look at the intervals, please, Mr. Shep. So so most of the cars, there's a little bit of gap between pretty much everyone here at the moment. Nathan Burney about 3 seconds behind Alex. We've got 2.8. Darren Fahey just did a 1:59.878. So Darren's sort of trying to bridge the gap on Cameron, but it seems to be hopping around about that 3 seconds. And again, maybe we've seen a bit of fuel strategy start to play out with those gaps there, because it was pretty close between Cameron and Darren when they went into the pits. So
there you go. Cordy's just pumped out at 59.4, so he's found an extra 2 tenths.
He's flying out there, racing hard, but as we said, mate, it's that cliff. Where is it? Looks like we've had another incident going on. Here's this.
Alex just highlighting the pass from earlier. Pretty incredible.
Nathan in the pits there, so just able to carry it, and he's broke nice and late there as well, just to make sure he could sweep around.
Sorry, guys, he did actually make another move on. Oh no, that's up to date. Sorry, apologies.
No, it's great to see. I mean, look, Alex seems to be one of those drivers that we end up talking about a lot, and maybe some of the other drivers out there might be a little bit jealous, but he's in amongst the action, and you guys will get in and battle hard, and then we can talk more about you guys. Try to give everyone a spruik. We want you all to show it to your friends, get your family and friends involved in watching your race. Bella Gorgeous on the on YouTube there, just commenting that the damage glitch is there, so the paint still peels off the tops and sides of the nose. Okay, so that's a bit of a glitch, or is it something intended by iRacing? I don't know. Not really an open wheeler driver myself, so haven't seen a lot of it.
It tends to do it. I
think the damage model's looking better and better. I think the damage model's looking better since the latest update. You tend to agree?
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon it's just the top of where the footwell is. I'm tipping it's just more or less trying to simulate if stones and rocks and gravel and everything just sort of flicked up on the top of it and just sort of took some paint with it.
I don't know how
many trying to simulate it.
I don't know how many times I've sort of, picked up the chip on the windscreen, and I think it's a mark on the screen. Oh, it was a bit wide.
I reckon he's dropped a wheel on that on the grass on the outside of the curb there, because I saw it and I thought, oh nah, he's not touched the grass there, but he actually has. So someone else is trying to sweep through that.
You're trying to really play. That's one of those corners where you would focus on the exit and sweep down, really trying to carry speed.
No, he's all right. What's he done here?
He's just coming into pits, so it's just. He seems like he's coming up for a third.
That was when we saw Joe fly by, I think, when he was in the pits.
Right.
But we've only got about 3 laps to go after this, buddy, so we better get back to near the front and start focusing on what's going on. Darren Fahey's got that gap down to 2.6 seconds. Do you want to jump on board with Darren, and let's have a look from that visor cam and see so he can see him up front there. So again, that's that nice little carrot dangling in front of Darren. He's running out of time.
What about, I reckon we'll watch this for a lap or so, then maybe screw along to see how Alex is going. So I reckon he won't be far off. Nathan Verni's had an accident. Nathan Verni's had a spin, I think. He's just dropped a position. He's dropping a lot of time now.
Oh,
What's
we'll
happening
have
to
to have a
Nathan?
look and see what happened to Nathan there, Chef. Someone's on the radio, so I don't know if there was anything happening. Looks like he's all on his lonesome here. So again, I mean, it seems to be the same spot. We've seen a few guys make that mistake. Oh, has he kept it out of the wall? No,
Nah.
he's lost the nose.
Oh,
and
and lost the wheel.
Yeah, so that might have been a request to tow. Yeah,
Yep,
we heard
I
on
think
the
so.
radio.
Imagine a green, white, checkered flag. Would that be a bust up?
No, it just doesn't deserve that. I think he's probably in a spot where it's sort of one of those things, I suppose, in virtual racing. You know, in real racing, you wouldn't leave a car there out in there on the grass.
Oh yeah,
you wouldn't want the guy getting hurt. But maybe
the
in
sim
virtual
racer
you
in me
can.
wants to the sim racer in me wants to have like a safety car, green, white, checkered flag. They all bunch up one lap dash and see what happens. Make things really interesting. That was what I was thinking. But you know, obviously they don't put the safety car out and that. And what's going on here? John's
Well,
made a
Husey,
nice move.
Husey, you've got your first green tick for the night, buddy. Pete Morris just put a mention out there saying great commentary, guys. So thanks very much. Glad you're enjoying listening to it, buddy. So, you know, that's what it's all about. I love talking about racing, so
Yeah, can't go wrong, mate. It's good fun.
I tend to be a bit of a chatterbox.
Gee. Alex is literally within sniffing range of that rear exhaust of Michael right now, and he'll be hungry for P4 without a doubt.
1.6. Well, at the moment, Cameron has just extended that lead from Darren back up to 3 seconds, so we might stay on board with Alex here. Jump onto that visor cam again, man. I love seeing how close the driver's getting, that cockpit view. And just it's awesome to see how close, you know, you can see him you're catching him, and, you know, when you look at the next corner, that big bloody aerial in the front. I wonder if you can make that a transparent halo like you can with the W12.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd
Didn't
make
have.
life a lot easier.
Right, so 1.4, 1.5 seconds, Alex, behind Michael Whiting. But Alex has shown great pace. I was going to say the only guy in the 59s at the moment, but there's about 4 or 5 of them doing 59s now. So the pace is well and truly on.
Alex, what's that? He's spun. Alex has spun again.
Oh, pushing too hard. Let's have a look and see what happened to Alex here. But yeah, I think, again, yeah, he's just run it a tiny bit wide.
Oh, Alex, what are you doing? You had that in the bag, brother.
He's done well to keep it out of the wall and
He saved it well.
Stephen coming through there.
What it is, consolidate what you got. P5 it is, mate. That's still a ripper drive.
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, it's probably still enough to give him the driver of the day. Though I think Dean Sinkovic is now up 6 positions into 8th. So Dean must be a big buyer for the driver of the day too.
Dean gets
go to Dean. That's Steven Sinkovic. Dean's the way to go. Dean's the future. No Steven.
Well, Stephen's up 5 positions as well, man. So he's having a pretty good race. He's running at 11th at the moment, 8 seconds behind John in 10th. So there's probably not enough time left.
I reckon we should
to make a top 10.
I reckon we should do like a little vote cow every race. We should go Sinkovic of the race and vote which one's done better.
Put it out to the masses, mate, and see what they say.
Put it in the channels. All right, boys, we're gonna do a new series. Sinkovic of the day. Dean or Steven, which one's done better for the race?
That's great to have this. Well, Pete's going to give it to Dean, so there you go. That's an early call. Good to see.
So I'm guessing, the looks of things, Darren's not close enough to... Is it Cameron, was it? Cameron in first? Yeah, Cameron, yep.
The gap has been pretty steady. I think Darren's got it to sort of 2.6, and then maybe Cameron's seen that he's closed the gap a little bit, so then he's pushed it.
There we are. We're on the final lap now. Final lap, so white flag's been waved.
Yep. Was that Barney the flag man has waved it, so...
On your work, money.
Yeah, final lap, and these boys up front, Cameron and Darren, still lapping in the 59s, so they are pushing hard and have been pushing hard for 30 laps. So it's been a pretty good drive. Just scroll through. Brett Warby back I was about 11 seconds back. Michael Whiting a further 10 back. Alex is 8 further back, so it looks like it's pretty staggered out. And these guys just got to keep it on the road, and they'll hold their current position. I don't think we've got any battles on track now. Looks like Darren has just, you know, maybe hang his hat up a little bit. That interval back to, from Cameron back to Darren has just bunched out by a few tenths. So perhaps just trying to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. P2 is still a great result in round 1.
Look, you know, you can't go wrong with the top 3. And look, you know, I'm sure Michael will be, like as a Michael Whiting, I'm sure he'll be absolutely relieved that Alex has made an error and given him some breathing space. He'll be like, yes, I can hold on to P4 and not have to worry about jousting for P4 and P5 on the last lap. So I'm sure he'll be wrapped with that. But, you know, I know Alex will be pretty dark. He will be dark on himself for what's happened. But, hey, man, from P13, 14 up until P5, I think it's a fair effort. You've got to be happy with that. Walk away that you got the pace. Got to be happy with it.
I think we're a little bit disappointed we didn't get to see a last lap battle, because it looked like it was on the cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm spewing about it. Like, you know, to be fair, Michael could absolutely bend it on the last lap right now, but I don't see that happening. Commentator's curse could be coming out really soon.
Yeah. So far tonight, the guys have balked that, but as we've seen, it's just been the most of the incidents, apart from Alex's and Darren's earlier on in the race, there, have been self-inflicted. So it's just trying to find the limits of the car, and there's one way you find it, by falling over it.
Yeah, oh, that's right. You got to learn. That's what they have practice for. Practice during the week. And
all right, so we've got the box come across the line, and it is Cameron Edwards has taken out round 1 of the SRW Formula 3 Series, the American Invasion. What a great drive from Cameron there. Darren Fahey in 2nd position, Brett Warby in 3rd, Michael Whiting in 4th, Alex Court bringing out the top 5. Adam Simpson with a nice solid drive in 6th position there. Joe Daly up 3 positions, and he's finished in 7th. Dean Sinkovich just almost getting ready to come across the line. Last corner here now. Yep, Dean has... Yep. Oh no, he's still round the back here, and that's is that Leaky in behind trying to get a bit of a tow?
Looks like it. I don't think it's for position because Leakey's, I think, pretty sure on a lap down or so, so it won't be for position. It would be for.
Out of that. Leakey's backed out of that. He definitely had enough run to go for a pass there, but I'm sure he didn't want to ruin Dean's P8.
Oh yeah, Dean will be pretty wrapped with today.
John McHenry. Look at John McHenry up 3 positions into 9th.
Beautiful.
Position. So that's a great effort. So the admin boys have, you know, both Dean and Joe have got bragging rights over Stephen tonight.
Oh, they'll be wrapped with that.
And then looks like we've got John Nicholas still coming around there at the back in 10th. Us will bring out the top 10. Okay, no, has finished across the line. All right, awesome, buddy. Well, I'm just gonna let you give your thoughts on what you thought of the racing tonight, Adam, while I jump up and try and grab a few of the boys and get him into the green room so we can have a chat.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, pretty happy with tonight's race. Top 3 were evenly spread out. Look, you know, done well. Oh, good job to Cameron for, you know, fairly driving away with the win and doing his part. You know, with a bit of luck on his side. You know, but hey, all in all, he's done well to keep it and drive off with it. Darren gave him a fair, decent battle for the win, but just didn't have enough for him. Well done to Brett for rounding out top 3, coming in 3rd place. I'm sure Fishy Motorsport boys will be pretty happy with that. Michael for not cracking under pressure because he had Alex coming at him at a fast rate of knots, but sadly, just Alex made a bit of an error. But well done to Michael and Fishy boys there again. Cordy, I reckon he's probably deserved driver of the day, purely on just his recovery drive. Good job to Adam Simpson. Obviously, he's not with Frog Leap Racing anymore. He's with Fisher Motorsports. Joe Daly, Dean, ripper result, coming P8. Like, I'm sure he'll be wrapped to that. And, you know, I'm sure we'll give Dean the Sinkovich of the Day award, I think. John McHenry, nice little effort in P9. John,
okay, so who are you thinking? Are we going with Alex or are we going with Dean for the driver?
Alex. I reckon Alex. I reckon Alex for driver of the day, and I reckon Dean Sinkovich for Sinkovich of the day.
It should be the less
Well,
Stinkovich
what we'll
award,
do-
though. It should be the less Stinkovich award rather than the Stinkovich award.
Hang on. And all right, so we got Dean and Dean for driver of the day. Okay. Yeah, well, I think we'll have a chat to Alex as well because it was such a great battle. But we might grab Dean in as driver of the day, seeing he finished up 6 positions. So, but what we'll do is we'll just grab our podium sitters down first. So we've got Brett in the green room at the moment. See if we can wait to get Darren up there as well.
Were you doing third all the way through to first, or do you want to go first, second, third? What do you prefer?
I think we've liked to, at the moment, it's been good to grab all of the boys in together and let them have a bit of a banter. As long as you address your questions clearly to each of them, I don't think there's any of a problem. If you leave it ambiguous like I did last night, then you'll get answers from both of them, maybe at the same time. All right, so let's bring Cameron down, and as soon as Darren gets in there, we'll drag the other 2 boys down too. Well, Cameron, congratulations, buddy. Round 1 winner. What a great race.
Yeah, cheers. I'm going to be honest. Apologies to Alex for that little tussle for the lead there. I was not expecting that netcode to be that strong. I love going wheel to wheel with everyone, but I'll be honest. I felt really. I'll save the language, but yeah, I didn't feel too good about that. So, sorry, Alex.
That's all right. Well, we're going to bring Alex into the green room a little bit first, but I wanted to give you podium guys a chance to have a chat first. So, I mean, we called it as a bit of netcode. We thought maybe it might have been a wheel touch early on, and that sort of threw Alex into you, and then we could see him go inside you. So it was definitely netcode. You know, just unfortunate, I suppose, buddy. But look, apart from that, you were able to just maintain the gap with Darren. He was pretty close to you there before that second pit stop. Were you able to sort of just do a shorter fill, or you got a better run into the pit?
I'm not sure because the guys were catching me pretty well going into pit lane. I think I was just able to, I don't know, maintain the consistency, I guess. I honestly don't know. Like, Darren was pushing me really hard throughout that whole race. And, yeah, I was hoping he was going to give me a break at some stage. But
well, we were watching the timing sheets and, you know, basically all 3 of you boys were sort of still running in the 59s, getting near the end of the race. I think most of you bettered your quality time, for God's sake, in the race. So... Yeah.
Yeah, far out. It's interesting doing those longer stints as well because I find I get a lot more comfortable being able to know where the car's going to go. There were a couple of times I had a lot of opposite lock and I was honestly thinking I was going to end up in the wall. But once the guys in Send It Sim Sport were able to calm me down a bit, I just got my head stuck down into it again and yeah, finished it. So, yeah.
Oh, well, man. Well, it's sort of great to have you on board in the series, and your debut brings a win, mate. So, give you a chance to give a spruik to your sponsors and let us know who's supporting you.
Yeah, cheers. So very quickly, it's for all the lads at Send It Sim Sports. We've got our main sponsor as Hob Trenching and Boring, Precision Performance Setup, Proso Finance, Sydney Computers, AJ Insurance Services, Transform Media, Pixel Blocks, and CD Cinematography, and 27 Designs.
Awesome, buddy. All right, well, now I'm going to bring both Darren and Brett down into the room. Darren and Brett, we brought you guys both back down into the room. So Darren, P2, buddy, you were pressuring Cameron there, but just couldn't catch him at the end.
He was too good. I think he was just foxing for a little bit. Because he pulled a gap when he had to.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Look, it was some great racing out there, but it just looked like, you know, when you sort of were pushing, we could see that you guys were still down in the 59s right at the end of the race. So, you know, I think pretty much as we said to Cameron, you know, you're all beating your qualifying time on lap 29 and 30 of the race.
Yeah, I didn't give up. I kept trying to kept trying to bridge the gap, but no, he was just too good.
Now, it looked a pretty tricky car out there. Look, you know, I think you 3 at the front might have been maybe Michael as well in 4th, were probably the only guys that didn't have a little spin or so. Even Cameron said there he had a couple of times where he was opposite lock and thought he was going into the wall, but managed to catch it. Was it much the same for yourself?
Yeah, it was just you had to be really careful on corner exit throttle application. So, but no, I liked it. It turned in, and just had to be careful.
Awesome, buddy. What we might do is give you a chance to give a spruik to your sponsors. Let us know who's supporting you, and then we'll maybe get a bit of. We'll talk to Brett and get a bit of banter between the three of you and bring Alex in. So, who's supporting you at the moment, Darren?
Mate, I pay my own way, and the missus brought me a beer while I was racing, so I've really got to thank her. She's a champion.
Oh, that's the best support you can get, buddy. No, awesome job, P2 tonight, pushing hard and taking it to Cameron, but he didn't crack. Now, Brett, we can see you back in third, mate. You were right in the thick of it there for a long time too, but in the end, those boys just stretched a bit clear. And did you just wanted to consolidate your step on the podium?
Yeah. Well, no, they were gone. They were too quick, and as you say, the car. I mean, it was a nice car to drive, but yeah, as they were saying, it was just getting out of the throttle. You had to be a bit careful, and I just had visions of Leclerc trying to fight back through and spinning it, and yeah, it was just too risky for me to keep on pushing. But the guys out front, did an awesome job. They were just way too quick for me.
Well, P3, you got to be pretty happy with that, with your entry into the series, buddy.
Yeah, I'm
Have
super
you on board?
stoked. Yeah, super stoked with it. It's about time we got up there and onto the podium, and I've got to thank the Fishy boys and for helping me out here. DC Shades, Black Wolf Graphics, Precision Sim Training, Relaxed Fishing Game, and West End Motor Group. I mean, all of these guys are just legends for helping us out, and the amount of work they do for myself is just brilliant. So it really goes out to them.
Awesome, mate. I think Peter was telling us on the chats there that there's going to be another two Fishy boys joining next week. They just had work this week, so they couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's right. And they'll both be probably faster than me, so I'm glad they weren't here tonight, to be honest.
Take the points you can, mate. Well, we do have 2 drop rounds, so they do. It's not going to hurt them too bad. Now, I'm just going to bring Alex down into the room as well. So, Alex, bit of an up and down race for you tonight, mate. It's been unfortunate with you and Cameron and that at the start. Looked like netcode to us, buddy, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to really say too much about that. Look, these things happen, unfortunately, but yeah.
Now we could see that you were having, although that sort of put you behind the 8 ball, mate, you had an amazing job to get back up into 5th position. And you were almost sort of pressuring Michael for 4th there, just maybe pushing a little bit hard at the end.
Yeah, just made a costly mistake right at the end there. But look, for a fixed setup, the car had phenomenal pace tonight. So, and considering that I've done bugger all practice in this car, this track, obviously considering I had radicals last night, I was predominantly focusing on that this week. Look, I was, happy to put it on pole for the race, and look, I was looking forward to a strong battle.
You certainly had some battles trying to
throughout the night
through the field there, man.
100%.
You've shown your pace in. Doesn't matter what car we get you in, buddy. You're fighting hard and got plenty of pace. So but I mean, you did mitigate the damage. It was a great recovery. We were sort of umming and ahhing whether or not to give you driver of the day or Dean Sinkovich. So Dean actually finished up 6 positions. I was trying to get him down into the green room to have a chat, but he doesn't want to. He's been a chicken maybe, or he's an admin, doesn't want to talk too much. But we ended up giving him the driver of the day because he got 6 positions. But I think technically you lost 12 and gained back another 7 or 8. So I think maybe an equal driver of the day, buddy. So
I reckon that if he doesn't turn up, he doesn't deserve it.
I know, that's it. So yeah, look, I think it's going to be some great action this year between you boys. I might pass it over to my commentator buddy here. Hughes, you got any questions for any of the boys, mate?
Look, I just think it's good to see new fresh faces in the season, and it's good to see that we've got a new race winner for round 1, and a good way to start the year off, the season off, I should say. you keen for the rest of the season, Cameron? Like you got your eye in for the rest of the tracks and sort of know where you want to be and how to sort of accomplish it.
Look, I'll just take each race as it comes. To be honest, I think there's too much variable with these longer race distances. There's a lot that can happen. So yeah, just take it race by race and see where we end up. But I'm looking forward to some more close racing and hopefully the netcode can go away. But I'm really sorry, Alex. That was not what I was intending.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, we were watching that when it happened too. And that was just literally just mega unlucky. Like it was just purely netcode, nothing you could do about it. Bit of a shame because myself and Cowie and Toddy were just getting hyped up for the last few laps, saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a good battle with yourself and Alex." And then obviously, iRacing sort of put a big stop to that. So, but look, hey, you and Darren had a good battle. I was sort of low key rooting for Brett to come through and just take it up, but I was screaming for you, Brett. I was really screaming for you, mate. But I'm sure you guys will have your hands full with Court this year this season because he is fast. I can give you the red hot tip. Raced him last season F3s. He's definitely mega quick.
Yeah, he'll certainly be back up to the top. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and definitely from the Apis rounds I used to run with him. Yeah, he's definitely got the pace. So it'll be really good to see.
Yeah, I'm not missing any. Not missing any rounds this week.
Alex, so well, there is 2 drop rounds, so we do have that covered if it happens to you guys. Obviously, we'd love you to race every round. But yeah, mate, I had my money on you, Alex. They were pressuring me, and I know nothing about these cars, and usually put me on the spot trying to say who I thought was going to be up. And you're one of the guys we keep talking about most weeks. Yeah, so it's great to see. I mean, a bit unlucky tonight, but you fought hard, and we could just see that you were right on the edge there, trying to catch up with those, couple of little spins as you were coming through. But that more to us was showing that you were pushing so hard, man.
Oh yeah, look, I think it wasn't last season. I think it was the season before the naming change for the series. Young Lockie, who used to do the commentating, he always used to call me the comeback driver. So
they nicknamed you the Wall last season, but you didn't get to really make this car wide, though. Again, you can't let these things. You can't quite jostle these cars like you can some others.
Nah, you can't. But look, in all honesty, like if situations like what happens tonight, and I do drop back down the pack, I just put my head down and pretty much block everything out and ice forward and try to make up as many spots as I can.
We certainly appreciate you, the hard charger from the back there, buddy. We were a bit disappointed you had that spin at the end because we thought it was going to be a red-hot battle between you and Michael for the last lap. But again, we're still pretty proud of you boys. It was a great show you put on tonight, and we look forward to, more close racing going forward.
Thanks to you guys for putting it on. Thank you.
No problem.
It was easier tonight, Alex, for you? Like I know with last season how we had to do all the pit stop changes and, well, mainly tyre changes, I should say, with either 2 tyres or 4 tyres. You reckon it was easier not doing those tyre changes, just leaving the same set of boots on? Versus last season?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Mixed feelings, I suppose. I was actually thinking of taking tyres in my second stop. But then Scotty Barton, who was crew chiefing for me, was like, "Nah, don't do it because you'll lose too much time." So, if anything, I probably, if I look back on it, maybe tyres first stop. But yeah, look, they still felt alright. It was just towards the end there, I just made that tiny little mistake. I think I got on the curb a little bit too much, and
Yeah, it's caught a bit of the dust we saw there, buddy. But I mean, it does seem to be the issue is tyre temperature with these cars, and it takes 3 or 4 laps to get up to temp. And until then, you're a second or 2 off the pace.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah. Alrighty, boys. Well, we'll let you give us. Hopefully, we can get some of you boys back in the green room next week with another great result, and you can tell us what you thought of Hughesy's call tonight. I know we've had a few of the guys on the various channels, spruiking it up, enjoying the show. So I wanted to thank Hughesy for joining me for the F3s, and you'll be with us on board for the whole season, buddy, won't you?
Yeah, we'll be, mate. Yeah, I'll be knocking around the traps doing me thing. So yeah, it should be good fun, mate.
Well, it's good to have someone with at least a little bit of technical know-how on these cars because I know nothing. I think I bought it tonight, so I could talk about it. But anyway, we might wrap up our broadcast there, guys. So, again, it's been an awesome night of racing. Thanks very much for joining us for our coverage of the SRW Formula 3 series here on SRW TV. Don't forget to hit the like button out there and the follow button, the notification bell on all our socials. Subscribe along so that way you can see all this great action and know when we're going live next. On behalf of our management and broadcast team at SRW, we've got Husey on comms and our producer, Chef Toddy, behind the scenes.
Much love,
This
legends.
is Cowie, your average sim racer, signing off, saying good night, and we look forward to seeing you next time on SRW TV.